unfortunately and fortunately, again, we're not going to be able to get through all the notes, but I did want to fast forward a little bit to the NWA because there was something we brought up earlier, and that was, the NWA's growth. And hopefully, if I'm lucky enough, maybe we can talk again in the future, do a part two where we can
Yeah,
really
of course.
dive
No, we
into.
totally can.
Cool. I want to talk about the NWA in 2023 and 2022 because, after the pandemic, and that's something I really want to dive into in the future is the pandemic because that's I don't feel like enough people talk about the wrestling pandemic, probably because people want to forget about it because it was such a hard time in life. But I feel like with wrestling, it's so fascinating. But to
If Billy
2022,
Corrigan wasn't a successful rock star, the NWA would not have made it through there because we couldn't run shows. We couldn't do anything. We went dark. Like everything fell apart.
yeah,
We had these big ass plans. We were on the rise. Sky was the limit. And then the world shut down.
yeah,
Whereas WWE had enough money and know-how where they just put up video screens of people's faces and filmed at their studio and this, that. AEW lucked out because, again,
money.
millionaire, billionaire owners, they had Daly's place right on the outside, outdoors. Okay, we'll just test our wrestlers. We'll have them front row and it'll be like there's a crowd there. Like those two companies had a means on a weekly television program that was live each week, not pre-taped. We tape ahead of time that they were able to work all around this and have an outlet for it. Whereas we're not able to do that. And we almost didn't survive. So
Basically killed Evolve and Ring of Honor. I mean, Evolve had to shut down because they couldn't afford to run the shows anymore, and Ring of
yeah,
Honor paid their talent all the way through, but then they couldn't afford
yes,
it
it did.
anymore.
And then it
So
got purchased by AEW. But it's just one of those things where the best laid plans,
mhm.
and then you try to do what you do. We had a 5-year plan, and about a year and a half of that got thrown out the window, and it set us back real far. And we are still trying to find our footing. And we have something on the horizon that hasn't been publicly made yet that I may or may not be the thing that gets us back on our footing. We're going to find out what goes on. But the cool thing about having William Patrick Corgan, Billy Corgan, as NWA owner and NWA president, is that guy doesn't like to fail,
Mhm.
and he has the means and the wherewithal to go through the bumps in the road and realizes that I've told him before. I'm like, you know, I dream of one day we're never going to be WWE, never going to be AEW. We don't. That's not us. We're our own little niche. We exist as our own thing. We're an alternative to those, and trying to live up to somebody with production value like that is just you're never going to do it. So you can't be the biggest thing ever, but you could be a different thing that's successful.